What if I told you the ultimate form of wealth isn't about luxury, but about power? The power to just say no. Today, we're going to dive into a concept that completely redefines what our financial goals should be. We're talking about freedom money. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. The power to say no. That single idea is the heart of everything we're talking about today. And trust me, it is a total game changer. All right, so to really get this, we've got to start by tearing down a massive misconception. The real goal here, it's not what society has been selling us. On the one hand, you've got the dream they paint, right? The Lambos, the penthouses, the whole flashy lifestyle. But that's not freedom. In fact, it can be its own kind of cage. The reality of freedom money is something totally different. It's that invisible internal power, the control over your own time, your own emotions, and the true direction of your life. Okay, so here's the working definition. And notice, it's not a specific number in your bank account, it's a state of being. It's the point where your actual survival no longer depends on a boss, a client, or getting anyone else's permission. This right here, this is the baseline for real independence. Now, to really appreciate the power of freedom, you gotta understand what the opposite looks like. We have to look inside that psychological prison of being dependent. This is what the survival mindset is all about. This table just lays out the progression perfectly. Down at the bottom, you have someone working just for survival, and their entire mindset is driven by fear. Then you move up to the middle, the person working for comfort, and their mindset is, well, it's tolerance. It's about putting up with things to maintain that comfortable life. But then you get to the top. The goal shifts completely to power, and the mindset becomes one of sovereignty. You're not just playing the game anymore. You're the one making the rules for your own life. So let's drill down on that first stage, that survival mode. What is the one single emotion that colors every choice you make when you're in that position?
Fear. It is that simple. And it's a filter that literally distorts your reality and crushes your potential before you even get started.
And you know how this fear shows up in the real world. It's those constant nagging questions buzzing in the back of your head. Can I really afford that? What happens if I lose my job? What are people going to think? You're not making choices from a place of strength. You're just reacting from a place of survival. So how do we break out of this fear-based trap? Well, the answer isn't just make more money. The real goal is to get your hands on a very specific and much more important kind of power. Untouchable. Now, this isn't about being arrogant or thinking you're above it all. Not at all. It's about being sovereign. It means that all the external stuff, market crashes, bad bosses, other people's opinions, they can't break you. They can't force your hand. And this is what being untouchable looks like in practice. It's the raw, unfiltered power to simply walk away, to leave a bad business deal on the table, to finally cut toxic people out of your life, to physically get up and leave a room or situation that drains your spirit without fearing the consequences. That is real power. This quote just hits the nail on the head. When your survival doesn't depend on selling your time or compromising your principles, you become one of the very few people in this world who simply is not for sale. You own yourself completely. Okay, so this all sounds great, right? But I know what you're thinking. How do you actually get there? So this part is all about the practical path forward. It's about building leverage. And listen, this might be the most important point of all. You have to forget the lottery fantasies. The journey to freedom doesn't begin with $1 million check. It begins with just enough so that your survival is finally in your own hands. You can actually break this path down into 3 simple steps. First, you plant the seed. That means building a small buffer, just enough so that one bad month can't completely destroy you. Second, you have the discipline to water that seed, consistently saving and adding to it. And finally, you get to the growth stage, making that money work for you through smart investment. The whole key is seeing it as a process, not a one-time jackpot. So let's bring it all home. The goal we're chasing here, it isn't the stuff you can buy. The real, profound dream at the end of this journey is to wake up in the morning and realize the only person you have to answer to is yourself. And that is the final, crucial takeaway. Look, comfort is nice, but comfort can also be a trap. Freedom, that's a whole different level of existence. Because once you've had a real taste of true autonomy, you'll find that the temporary comforts the world offers will never, ever seem worth the price again.